Hello, today's class is about opening up the hip flexors and the hamstrings, both the front and back side of the hips. So let's get started. First, we'll begin coming down into a child's pose. So bring your big toes to touch, your knees separated wide, and then start walking your hands forward. Extend your arms out, and then drop your forehead down to the mat and release. So we're starting in just a grounded position to begin to bring awareness and attention to the breath. So try to inhale through the nose and then exhale out through the mouth. And take a few rounds of breath just like this. Then with your next inhale, rise up. We're going to come to all fours. So bring your hands directly underneath your shoulders, your knees directly underneath your hips. Pressing into the hands, now drive your right knee forward and step up and outside of your right hand. Then shift your hips forward so you start to feel a stretch into the back hip, possibly then a little bit into the front hip as well. Exhale, you're going to press the hips back, but keep your front foot to the floor and start to extend and straighten as far as you can with your front leg. Feeling a bit more stretch through the hamstrings of your right side. So again, with an inhale, we'll shift the hips forward, press, lengthen the spine. Exhale, rock the hips back, lengthen the front leg. Again, inhale again, shift forward. And exhale to press back. We'll inhale, come forward again. Now release your right knee back to all fours. And going the other way, drive your left knee forward. Step up and out, so left foot outside of left hand, and then shift your hips forward as well. So try to feel the release in the front side of your right hip. Let the hips push forward down toward the mat. And again, exhale, extending your front leg or your left leg, lengthening just as far as you can, keeping your whole foot to the floor. Inhale again, shift forward, release. Find length in your spine. Exhale, press back, extend your front leg. Inhale, forward, release the back hip. And exhale, last time, extending back, lengthening the front leg. Come forward again, release the left leg. We're going to sit back one more time to child's pose. Extend the arms out. Give yourself a little roll of the hands and wrists. Release them slightly. Bring them in toward one another and creating small circles. From here, then we'll extend the arms out. Press the hands into the floor. Tuck your toes underneath. With an exhale, lift your hips upward and come into a downward facing dog. This will be in an inverted V position, so your bum is lifted high, pressing through the hands, opening up through the shoulders, and then tilting the hip bones to the sky. Now just slightly bend the knees, so let them soften, and from there push and extend through the shoulders and lift your bum even higher. Try to maintain this position with the upper body, keeping the length through the spine, and now lengthen the legs just as far as you feel like you can to stretch now through the backside into the hamstrings. So trying to maintain that upper body position Again, extend and reach, trying to drop your heels closer to the floor. One more breath in. Then we'll take a sweeping motion. Inhale, lift your right leg up to the sky. Exhale, come forward. Bring your knee forward and then step up to your right thumb. Drop your back knee down to the floor. We're going to press the hips forward like we were doing. And now inhale, rise and lift. Torso comes upward. Arms come upward as well alongside the ears. So lengthen, extend through the body. Finding breath. With an exhale, we'll release the fingertips to the floor. Start to shift your hips back. And this time we'll pull the front toes up toward your nose. Find the length through your front leg. And now lift the chest. Keep a long spine. Lengthen leg, lengthen spine, even up through the chin. Inhale, shift forward, rise up again, lengthen the arms. Exhale, release the fingertips down, lengthen the front leg, toes to your nose. And again, one more time, inhale, rise and reach. Exhale, release, send your hips back. Now we'll inhale, shift the hips, bring your hands down to your mat, pop up on your back toes, and then step and exhale all the way back and through to downward facing dog. Deep breaths in. Now we'll inhale, lift and reach left leg up to the sky. Exhale, come forward again, knee to nose, and step up to your left thumb. Release your back knee to the floor and bring your hips forward. So find that stretch first. Now engage, pressing your feet down to the floor. Inhale, rise and lift the torso, lift the arms. Pressing the hips forward, extend through the spine, and breathe. Exhale now, release the fingertips to the mat, sending your hips back. Pull your front toes up now towards your nose. Keep lengthening the chest and spine. Your front leg here doesn't need to be straight, just working as close as you can. Inhale again, come forward, rise up and reach up. Exhale to release, send the hips back. Again, inhale to rise and reach. And one more time, exhale, lengthening the leg back. Your inhale now is coming forward, release the hands down to the mat. Pop up on your back toes, and then step back and exhale, coming into a downward facing dog. Just pause here and breathe, pushing up and out of the hands. Lift your hips high. Full breath in and out. Now lift your right leg one more time. Inhale, lift to the sky. Exhale, come forward, bring your knee up towards your nose and step up to your right thumb. Give it a wiggle forward if it doesn't reach there on the first go. Stay lifted high out of the back heel. Now with an inhale, lift and rise up to a crescent lunge or a high lunge. So we're gonna lift and pull the back kneecap away, lengthening the torso, lengthening the spine. Again, deep breath. With an exhale now, draw your elbows down by your sides. Start to bend your back knee, press your heart open, look up to the sky. And inhale, lengthen, and rise up, fingertips back to the sky. Exhale now, we're going to lengthen the front foot. Start to hinge forward, finding this balance. Fingertips toward the floor, finding as much length as you can in the front leg. And now spin and just drop your back heel down to the floor. Now round and release the body forward, folding into a pyramid pose, letting the head release. Find the length again through the back side of your front leg. You're working it toward as straight as you can. Now with another inhale, we'll start to bend forward into your front knee. Spin up on your back toes and plant your hands down to the mat. And with an exhale again, step back into a downward facing dog. Deep breaths again. Inhale now, lift left leg up to the sky, stretch and reach. And with an exhale, come forward, bring your knee up to your nose and step up again to your left thumb. Find your right positioning then. Balance up in your back toes, and with an inhale, rise yourself upward. Again, coming into your crescent lunge. Draw the kneecap up and away from the floor as we're sinking a bit more forward into the front leg. And one time again, exhale, start to bend the back knee, open the chest, bending the elbows, look up to the ceiling. And inhale, rise back up, finding the crescent lunge again. And then exhale, we're going to start to straighten the front leg, hinging as you dive forward, fingertips coming toward the floor. Now drop your back heel down. Lengthen as far as you can, and then fold your torso down to your front leg, finding your version of pyramid pose. Once again, start to bend into your front knee, spin up in your back toes, plant your hands down, and exhale one more time into a downward facing dog. Send your hips up high, again, push through the hands. Deep breath in, hand out. One more time, deep breath in. And out. And then exhale, release your knees down to the mat. Bring your feet together, setting hips back to heels. And this time round forward and release your hands back again toward your heels as your head comes down toward the mat. With an inhale now, rise yourself up to a seat. You're going to cross your ankles over top of one another, roll back, and then come and sit down on your bum. Legs will be extended. Try to just ground the sits bones down so you feel like you have a nice base of support. We're going to lengthen up through the torso, lifting up through the belly, through the spine. And now try to find a rotation through the pelvis. If you don't feel you can find this rotation, just prop yourself up onto a pillow or a yoga block. So we'll rotate, feel that stretch, and then start to hinge, pulling the spine forward, getting as far as we can with that rotation and then hinge. And then once you've got as far as you can, start to round, fold forward, and release. Let the head drop and round the spine and feel the stretch coming all the way down the back. and then subsequently into the hamstrings. Now inhale, start to curl yourself back upright. And then we'll bring ourselves to the center of the mat. Keep your feet planted down to the floor, grab the backs of your thighs, and then lengthen your arms. So we're just gonna slowly roll down, but keep your low back, your tailbone pushing into the floor as you roll. And again, one vertebra at a time. Find a nice release. So we come down and rest with feet to the floor, spine nice and long. From here, let your left leg stretch and lengthen all the way down to the floor. And then draw your right knee up into your chest. So we're squeezing the right knee, but trying to feel the opening and the length through the front side of your left leg. So squeeze the right knee in, lengthen the left leg, hold, and then deep belly breaths in and out. Now taking your right leg, grab for your calves or walking them as high as you can up with the calves. Begin to lengthen the right leg and just hold as long or as straight as you can. So holding here, now we're going to flex the right toes in towards your nose as far as you can, and then point. And again, flex and point. If you can lengthen your leg any more, go for it. Again, flex and point. And we're just gonna take one big ankle roll. So now roll and draw a circle with the foot, flexing as far as you can, rotating around, and then coming back to a point. Good, now release the right leg and draw the left leg back in as well. From here, slide your right leg back down and pull the left knee into your chest. So really lengthen the right leg. Think about just gently pressing your heel down into the mat and find the stretch in the front side of the right hip, and then bringing your left knee up into your chest. And from here, lengthen your left leg up to the sky, again grabbing for the calves, maybe walking just a bit higher on the leg, lengthening as far as you can. And from here now, we'll flex the toes and then back to point. And again, flex and point. See if you can lengthen the leg just a bit farther. Again, a flex and point. And now let's take that big ankle Roll our ankles circle, bring it as far as you can into the flex, rolling all the way around, creating that circle back to a point. And then exhale, release your left leg. Bring your right leg in. We're gonna lengthen both legs straight up to the sky. Just for a moment here, finding legs at the wall or waterfall, flexing the toes towards you, finding as much length as you possibly can through the legs for one round of breath in. And then exhale, bring the feet down. Place the soles of your feet together. Let your knees open wide and release down onto your mat. A deep inhale through the belly. And then an exhale, release through the belly. Now draw your knees in together. Pull your knees into your chest. Give yourself a little squeeze. Then bring your hands to your knees. Start to kick the feet or kick the legs so you build up a bit of momentum. Kicking and rocking along the spine, building yourself up to kicking all the way up to a seat. And then sit up nice and tall in a comfortable position. Take a big breath in here. So with an inhale, stretch the arms out, reach all the way up to the ceiling, lengthen through the fingertips. And then with an exhale, seal your hands together and exhale all the way out through the mouth. And bring your hands all the way down through to heart center. Thanks for joining me and opening up your hamstrings and your hip flexors.